Hey everyone, Adrian Morrison here, and in this video we're going to talk about drop shipping and the difference between the two options that you have available and that I'm going to be talking about a lot in this course. So there's a manual way to do it and there is a more automated bulk way to do it, and I call that bulk CSV. So in this video I'm just going to go over a couple of points, a couple of bullet points on each one, and then we will do two other additional videos that show you in action exactly how to do each of these methods or use each of these methods. And it's really all dependent on you and what you want to do. There's no wrong way to do it, but there certainly is a more efficient way to do things. So what we're going to do is we're just going to first talk about manual drop shipping, okay? Now, I call it manual drop shipping because you actually have to go in and order the items one by one from vendors on AliExpress. You could even do it on Amazon or eBay if you wanted to. So it's kind of like, you go into Shopify or your store every day, you look at all of the orders you've received, and then you would have to go to AliExpress, find that item, and start placing orders. And in doing that, each time you place an order, let's say, let me give you a better example. Let's say you sold 20 cross bracelets, okay? Bracelets with a cross on them. And 20 different people bought these bracelets, okay? So you would have to go into AliExpress to the vendor that's selling that bracelet, and you would have to place 20 different orders, meaning you would have to do each customer's order separately, one by one. And you would put in your credit card number, but put in the customer's information as the shipping address. So it's kind of like sending a gift, right? But none of your personal information is sent to them. They just receive the item that you paid for. And that is a very, very common practice, and it's actually the easiest way to start out, because let's be real, you're not going to start out tomorrow selling thousands of items every day, right? You're going to start out small, and you may get 5 or 6 orders or 10 or 12 orders. So this is something that is really great, simple, and fast for low volume sellers and newbies to start out with. And you'll see that in the training video that we go through. It sounds a lot worse than it actually is, right? So this is just, there's pros and cons to everything. And the pros to this, or one of the big pros to this, is that you are not limited. Anything you want on AliExpress or any other website for that matter that you want to sell, you can sell it. All you have to do is just put the image on your website, take the orders, and then come back after the fact, after you've been paid, and then actually place those orders for the customers with your credit card and their shipping address. Remember, your information, your payment information is 100% secured in AliExpress. It never reveals that. It won't send them a receipt or anything like that. They'll just get a package with their item in it. It's kind of like when you buy a gift for somebody, they don't send the receipt or any of the personal info. All right, so this is the way that most people do it. And it works out great, and it doesn't limit you. You can literally, any item you find, you can instantly start selling it. So this is a good thing. It's risk-free. So you're not ordering any of the products up front. You're not paying for any of the products up front. You only go order the products for customers after you have their money, after they've paid you. I'm sure you love the way that sounds because, look, all these other people that do it differently, that use like Amazon FBA and do bulk purchasing and inventory, they're risking a lot of money up front. They're paying for warehousing. They're paying for shipping for people to actually ship those orders from the warehouse. A huge risk is involved and your regular typical type of e-commerce. And that's why here in this course I'm showing you this amazing way of manual and bulk CSV dropshipping where you have zero risk, right? And you just stand to gain profits from this. If you have an item on your store that's for sale and nobody ever buys it, okay, so what? It didn't cost you any money. All it did was give you more opportunity. If you are warehousing stuff and you don't sell it, well, you're out. Like that costs you money. You've lost a bunch of money. So keep that in mind as we're going through all of this. This is risk-free. You're not stocking anything. You don't see it. You don't ship it yourself. It's all done digitally. All you have to do is after you've been paid by the customer, you have to go in and actually place the order from AliExpress, okay? So this is great for low volume sellers. Now, of course, if you're like me and you don't want to do tedious stuff and you want to keep your brain focused on ads and product development and research, then you can hire virtual assistants to do it for you. Okay, so what we do and what a lot of my partners do, if it's a product that doesn't offer the other way of drop shipping we'll talk about in a second, and we're ordering them manually for customers, we just have one of our virtual assistants go into AliExpress and place all of the orders for us every day. So they'll go through all of the orders from the previous day, they'll get their shipping address, and they'll go to AliExpress and order them one by one and ship them to the customers. AliExpress gives you tracking numbers, and you're protected. You're definitely protected by AliExpress and their refund policies. Your credit card information is completely safe and secure. You can also do this on eBay and Amazon. A lot of people don't just use AliExpress, but they may go find items from eBay and Amazon and do it. So this is a great way to get started quickly. And I will say this about that. As you start to become a very high volume seller and you're selling a lot of products, it is not efficient. You will end up, if you're a high volume seller, you will end up needing 2 or 3 virtual assistants to place the orders for you. And my virtual assistants, they're very cheap. I'm going to show you in other videos where I get my virtual assistants from. They're really great. They're not expensive, and of course, you know, they give me great work. You know, they provide great work for us, and it's just, you know, really amazing. So you're definitely going to want to watch those videos. But still, even with virtual assistants doing it, it's still not mega efficient because you could be paying those virtual assistants to perform other more important tasks for you if you were able to use this next method that we're going to go over. So I just want to hit all of these points again. With manual drop shipping, don't be afraid of it. It's not a bad thing. It's not something that you should shy away from or be worried about. It does take a little bit more time and a little bit more work because you have to manually order each customer's item one by one. So you might, let's say you have, like I said earlier, 20 orders. You're going to have 20 different charges on your credit card too. And it is the easiest and fastest way to start. It's a very common practice. A lot of friends of mine that run 6 and 7 figure e-commerce stores, this is the only way that they do it. This is just their preferred method. Different strokes for different folks. It is great for low volume stores. Very, very great for low volume stores. So starting out, you know, if you see an item that you want to sell, it doesn't have to be through bulk CSV dropshipping out of the gate. You know, this is a great way for you to build up a reputation and a relationship with vendors and show them that you can provide sales, that you're making them money. So you can always start out this way and then hit the vendor up after you've bought a couple of items from them over the course of a few weeks or a month and say, hey, look, we're growing. This is getting to be kind of tedious because we're having to order each item one by one. Can you just can we just send you a file of all the orders and you ship them out for us and we just pay one big payment instead of having to pay 20 different times? So, there's pros and cons to each way. Manual dropshipping is still something that I use. My virtual assistants right this very second are placing orders on AliExpress. Your credit card information is 100% safe using Alipay through AliExpress. So you're not having to provide your credit card information to your virtual assistant. They are just enabled to make payments for you and order items. So of course, you're not giving away your credit card number or anything like that. It's all hidden. So it's a great way to get started. It's how I got started. It's how many, many others have gotten started. All right, but ultimately, what I'm really looking for in a vendor is someone who will agree to do bulk CSV drop shipping. So this is the most efficient way for high volume sellers to run their e-commerce business if you want to do drop shipping. Now, what this means is at the end of every day, you can export into a file, an Excel file, all of your orders from that day. So all of your customers' orders will be exported into a file that you can download. All right. Now, once you get that file, it will have the customer name, it'll have the customer's order number, it'll have their shipping address, it will have the item that they ordered and the quantity, how many of those items they ordered, right? And you'll send that, you'll just shoot an email over to your AliExpress vendor and say, hey, here's our daily orders for the cross bracelets. And that Excel file would have those 20 orders in it. And what the vendor in China would do is just send you one bill through AliExpress. Sometimes they'll even do PayPal. They'll send you one bill for the 20 items. So instead of having to charge your credit card 20 times, one at a time, you just pay once. And then they'll go and they'll ship every single item out, all 20 bracelets out for you in this example. And they'll then give you all the tracking numbers. So what my vendors do, and we'll show you, we will show you an exact example in other videos. This is more of an explainer. Is we send them the file with all of our orders. It takes 5 minutes, literally. We click a button, export the orders, email it to our vendor, make one bulk payment, boom, and we're done. We've been paid already, and we send all the orders to our vendors. Then they charge us for the items, and what we have left over is our net profit, right? Because we were paid up front. But what they do is they will then send that file back to me after they ship all the items out. And by each order that we sent them, they'll copy and paste the tracking number. So we actually get back tracking numbers for all of the orders in that file. So our vendors in China will just simply copy and paste the tracking number next to each order in the file and send it back to us. All right, so step one is we export the file and email it to the vendor. Step two is they send us an invoice for all of the orders in that file and we pay for it, okay? Step three is they ship all of the items out to our customers and email us back the same file we sent them before, but now it has tracking numbers in it next to each particular customer's order. So it's 3 steps and it's really simple. And if you're selling high volume, then this is one of the best ways to get it done. All right. Now it is harder to find vendors that will offer bulk drop shipping. That's not to say that it's hard to do. It's just less common of practice. So you have to ask vendors on AliExpress if they will provide this service to you, which is why I said a minute ago, if you start out with the regular 1-by-1 drop shipping method, then after you've done a little bit of business with the vendor and they see that you're actually spending money with them, it's a better time after paying them money, giving them business, to come in and say, hey, look, this is tedious. We're going to have to pool our business and order from someone else that can do bulk drop shipping for us. And we'd really love it if you would offer us that service. It's kind of a takeaway. So you give them a little bit of business, but then you say, look, it's just too much. We can't keep placing orders like this. It's not efficient. We need a more turnkey way to do this. And they're not going to want to lose the sales because they've had a taste of the money, right? They're not going to lose that business. It is harder to find vendors that offer this service up front, but needless to say, if you spend like 1 hour talking to vendors, I'm sure you'll find somebody. As a matter of fact, I have a video in this course that you're going to be able to watch where I actually live record me chatting with random vendors on AliExpress and getting them to agree to do bulk CSV drop shipping for me. And you'll see just how easy it really is. But you will have a couple people say no. Don't get discouraged by that. There's a zillion people that sell the same stuff. So there are plenty of fish in the sea. Vendors are plentiful. They need your business more than you need them, right? So this is an automated process, and it's a massive time saver. So all of this is completely automated for me. Every day I have my store, my e-commerce store, export a CSV file of all of my orders and email it to me. So basically every night at I think 12:04 a.m. at night, I automatically get an email with all of the orders for that day. And then when I wake up in the morning, I send it to my vendor, my contact at AliExpress. They send me a bill. I pay it, they ship everything out and give me tracking numbers. It is a beautiful thing. It's just so amazing to be able to do this. And the great thing is it's very organized. I'm making one single payment to my vendor for all of the items on the Excel files. This is just so much more efficient, so much more organized than buying each item one by one over and over again, and having like a zillion charges on my credit card, which isn't really a problem. It's just tedious, right? It's just tedious. The vendor ships all of the items out to our customers. And with AliExpress, if an item is received broken or malfunctioning, then our vendors, because we work with good vendors, and there's a whole video on finding good vendors, they'll replace the item for free and they'll just ship them another one for me. So we're building long-term, very solid relationships with our vendors, right? When they're doing this type of volume for us, they love us. They don't want to lose our business. They're willing to replace broken items if they're received that way, or if it's lost by the postal service. Oftentimes our vendors will replace it for us, and they can just go back to these Excel files, find the customer's information, wham bam, thank you ma'am, it's shipped out again. Happy customer, efficient running business, and of course happy partnership with your vendor at AliExpress. So we're going to talk a lot about relationship building with your vendors. Don't look at these like you're making an order from eBay or Amazon. You're actually talking to these vendors in China. You're doing business with them. They're going to love you, right? And they're going to provide a great service for you. And they're going to make your life a lot easier. So you're building a relationship. Remember that. You're not just placing orders. You're building a business relationship. And it's going to benefit you greatly. All right, so this whole process of bulk CSV drop shipping takes about 5 to 10 minutes out of your day. Now, to order 20 items one by one might take you about 30 minutes or so. Whereas I could have 1,000 different products ordered, paid for, and shipped out with 5 minutes of my time if I'm using the bulk CSV drop shipping method. So you should see in this course a video on exactly a live recording of how we do the one-by-one shipping. And you're also going to see an additional video on how we use bulk CSV drop shipping and exactly how we set up the files to export, what the files look like, how the whole process is laid out. And I'm telling you, I know that you're new right now and you're like, oh my gosh, this probably seems like a lot of stuff. It's not. It's really not. I started as a one-man shop while I was on vacation in Destin, Florida, where I go on summer vacation with my family. And I did this all myself. And I'd never done it before. I'd never done e-commerce before. I'd never ordered stuff before like this. It just was easy. It's a lot easier done than it is said, actually. So you got to get in there and actually do it. But the great thing is, what I'm providing you in this training is exact videos on how to use each process, each method. So you have all of the ammunition that you need to do this the right way and do it the most efficient way and bypass any trial and error. So I think you're very fortunate to be watching these videos, because I didn't have somebody show me how to do this. I had to figure it out myself. But these are very easy. But at the end of the day, my ultimate goal, my main goal, is to find vendors that will do bulk CSV drop shipping for me, because I believe it's a more long-term partnership and business model. You know, I mean, if you're doing $1 million, $2 million a year in business, you can't be manually ordering everything one by one, or you'd have to have a ton of virtual assistants working for you, just placing orders all day. When you are a volume seller, it is much easier to find people that will do bulk CSV drop shipping, because they want the business, right? They want the business. But you will see in another video me live chatting with a random vendor, someone I've never talked to before in my life, and getting them to agree to do bulk drop shipping for me. And I don't show them my store. I don't tell them how much money I make. I'm just a brand new customer to them on a clean slate, just like you are. So you're going to see exactly how that's done in one of the coming videos. So get ready for that. This stuff is exciting. And this is just a minor little detail in the grand scheme of things that you can completely automate, be it with virtual assistants or be it with bulk CSV drop shipping. And I'm telling you, the payoff is huge, right? It's just big. So get ready to get started on all of this. Choose your path. Use both paths if you want to or need to. I mean, that's what I do. Either way, I'm going to make it simple for you. Go ahead to the next video and you'll see.